Yeah, so this is the unstoppable Liz Watson. Anyone believe they're getting in our way and gonna get away with it? Made a very sad mistake. So here we go, Liz. Give us a summary what you're up to.
I'm passionate about taking action to get justice. We can't seem to get justice in British courts, and that's self-evident, and it's a rigged game, and there's something very wrong. And we have, I found out the Ministry of Justice has got 68,700 employees, and it's like they're complaining about spending one employee 5 minutes to give action to freedom of information. We've gathered together to basically get some information together. We're all victims of organised crime and or theft and or dispossession of our homes on
court order scams.
Court order scams, debts that don't exist.
Yeah.
We all have something in common. We all want to take action to get justice. We want our common law rights upheld, and there's nothing unusual about what we want. And as I said to the MOJ in my response on the What Do They Know parliamentary website, which I found excellent, I said, you know, what is vexatious about asking what is your duty to provide and my duty to receive?
Yeah, you asked if essentially you asked if this is a valid case, basically,
yes,
and they said you're vexatious.
Yes, because they bankrupted me and my husband on a lie, which is a debt that we've never been shown, doesn't exist. The statutory register for the MOJ, who are the sole record keepers in London, have confirmed they have no record of the bankruptcy judgment debt upon which this fraud is based. The Insolvency Service, when I rang them last week, and we're now in, what are we now, 29th of November, to my horror, I said to them, what does it take to get a proof of debt? And they actually said, who is this? They said, oh, you'll get the debt from the court with a petition. I said, yeah, we haven't had a petition from the court, actually.
A petition?
And then they said, who is it? What's your name? And I said, well, if I tell you that, you're going to put the phone on me. Anyway, eventually I gave them my name, and they did just that. They said, you have to go to the official receiver. I said, there is no official receiver. And I said, how can there be an official receiver when there's no debt? And they said, sorry, we're going to terminate the call. And bang, down goes the phone. I rang back a few times, bang, 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 down goes the phone. Cut off, treated like persona non grata.
And these are people, Liz, that we are paying a wage to do a service to us.
They are our public servants.
And the insolvency, I said, oh, it seems to me the Insolvency Service in the UK is running a criminal enterprise, because it's very strange how all these victims,
money laundering,
false bankruptcy, money laundering through the courts. They're in the back pockets of the banks. They're being funded by stolen proceeds of crime, with hiding the debt. Because I even rang up Step Change, which is a government quango supposed to help you if you're in debt.
Yeah.
And the first question I said to them first question I said to Step Change is, excuse me, do you do any compliance into seeing whether there's actually a debt before you give them advice? And they said, hold on a minute. And they kept putting me on hold like about 10 times. It took me 2 hours to get this information out of them. And they said, no, we don't. We don't do any checks.
It's funny you should say that. I asked the same question to a church charity that is helping people with debt. And according to them, due to their prayers, they're getting a lot of debts written off. So I asked the lady, I said, did you actually check if the debt existed in the first place? And she kind of gave me the silent treatment a little bit.
It's like, isn't that the fundamental thing? It's like, where's the compliance? If there's no debt, how can you have a cause of action? If there's no cause of action, how can you have a bankruptcy order, which is a piece of paper? Now, this is where it gets interesting. Ebert, bless his heart, who's an expert, I believe, in insolvency law, he has pointed out to me section 135 of the County Courts Act 1981, and it says 1984, and it says anyone making a court order purporting to be made with the authority of the court, which isn't done with the authority of the court, which we know it can't be if there's no debt and there's no proceedings, nothing on the record, is committing an indictable offence up to 7 years in prison.
Wait.
Anyone at home?
Wait, per item.
Yes. And I said that, I rang up Bournemouth County Court yesterday and I said, excuse me, you've just apparently made a costs order. I didn't go, someone kindly went for me. And you apparently just made a costs order for some £6,500 allegedly on a non-existent debt, which you know you don't have on your electronic system. Excuse me, what is going on? You guys are in contempt of court, and do you realise you could all go to prison for aiding and abetting a serious organised crime and abusing your positions? And she went, oh, I'm just an administrator. I've got it all on tape. I'm just an administrator, says she. I said, I don't care whether you're an administrator. I said, I've written to you 3 times with 3 notices since the 30th of October, giving you notice of criminal activity and asking for disclosure that you have the electronic records for these so-called bankruptcy orders. We are not insolvent, we are not bankrupt. And all my colleagues and compatriots, none of them are insolvent. And how come they're all bankrupted? What is this? It's racketeering at its worst. And
So
people must take action.
They want to steal.
racketeering.
They want to steal people's assets on the
Yes.
pretense that there is an authentic court proceedings of whether it's bankruptcy, repossession, whatever. And what we're finding now in all of us work, it's running in the millions and millions. Actually, what I'm struggling to do
billions.
since the last 3 years I've been into this, I've never seen a single authentic proceeding where somebody's lost assets, or even children
The
come to
root
that.
of the tree, the poisonous tree that is growing like a triffid and is creating a forest, the roots are the records, as my friend Victor says. The roots are the records, the roots of the poisonous tree. It has to be pulled up by the roots. And the fact is there's no record of these debts. Isn't it funny? We've got a monetary system set up for the oligarchs and the hegemony that's being run in Britain to protect the banksters and gangsters who are stealing our homes, stealing our children under the guise of all manner of deceptions. And the reality is that our money system is based on usury and debt. Money is issued as debt. All the debt can ever do is compound. It's now so out of control that they are using the public as bailees and trying to collateralise their debt so they can stay in jobs using us and our assets to bail them out without our consent, on our legal name, a birth certificate, which they are treating as a commodity. That's why they're snatching children at birth. That's this racketeering in British courts. I've done some poetry
where I want to guide this. I want to guide this conversation back to the turnstile for all this fake this and fake that, fake whatever, contracts, fake everything. It is necessary for them to somehow get the involvement of the court. To say they have a court order so that the police can come and kick your ass.
And they pretend this is the misuse of the Data Protection Act and the breach of the peace. They come there and they have the insolence in public office to say, we're here to prevent the breach of the peace. And I said to the police, what could be more invasive than drilling someone's lock, turfing them out of their homes, smashing their windows, and you're standing saying, we're here to prevent it. And I said, would you tolerate it?